Hello citizens, captains and wannabe pirates, and welcome back to the world of Ahoy. If you've never heard of this game before, you'll find a couple of other videos on my channel that explain what it's all about. Go check them out, then come back here. Anyway, you've probably already guessed from the title that today's news isn't exactly what we were hoping for. Today I'll be talking about delays, updates and some crazy ideas from the community. That last part is definitely the most entertaining. Let's start with the latest news. The release of Sea Trials, the first iteration of the game where we learn the basics of sailing aboard our little single-masted ship, the Bumblebee, has been delayed. As of today, the release has been pushed back to the end of August. A few months ago, while talking with some of you in the comments, I predicted early September, and I still think that's the most likely outcome. For everyone who's feeling the irresistible urge to say, "I told you so," please leave a comment with exactly that message. Let's see how many I can collect, and let's see who comes up with the most creative way to say "I told you so" without actually saying "I told you so." Either way, you'll get a heart and a smile from me. The journal has also been postponed and will probably arrive in the next few days, bringing more details about development progress and explaining the reasons for the delay. Maybe, and I really mean maybe, they'll also treat us to some new in-game screenshots and videos. That would be a nice little gift before the summer holidays. One thing that certainly took development time was the website. So here's the update part. The website is now fully capable of managing backer accounts, including access to Sea Trials once it's released. And it's also ready to welcome new supporters who want to become part of the project. That's pretty much it for the updates. Now, let's get to the fun part of the video. The game's Discord server has a channel where the community can submit ideas for the game. And you know how that goes, right? Give a group of passionate people a little creative freedom and they'll provide endless entertainment. So I had fun reading through some of the latest suggestions, and I thought I'd share a few of them with you. Some are genuinely good, some are impossible, some are hilarious, and others are, well, slightly concerning. Let's play a little game right away. The very last suggestion, the classic, the one that always shows up, the one that simply has to be there. Pause the video now and write in the comment what you think I'm talking about. Then keep watching and find out what it is, and afterwards edit your comment and let everyone know whether you were right or not. I honestly think more than 90% of you already know exactly what I'm talking about. Obviously, the community is a serious one, so there are plenty of perfectly reasonable, solid, fairly traditional suggestions like a nice journal when you can take your notes. Well, a ship's log is a fundamental part of sailing, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see something like that implemented. Or a little more unusual but still fitting the setting, adding whaling. And I believe this would be a great feature, and it could also create a different kind of PvE gameplay. Then there is the idea to create a game mode made up entirely of players, each taking different roles from officers, marines. Now, this is interesting on paper. We can all picture this perfectly trained, highly coordinated crews, everyone at their station. But then reality kicks us square in the nuts, and it would probably turn into a colossal disaster with 4 ships, 47 captains, 1 sailor who somehow fell overboard, and everyone screaming random nautical terms at the top of their lungs while the cannons go off like it's New Year's Eve. Well, it could actually be pretty fun. Then communication between ships done via flags. That's a classic, harmless, easy to implement, great for immersion. Of course, there will always be that one creative genius sailing around with messages like this. If you get the joke, let me know in the comments. One person suggested adding books to the game that actually sound pretty nice, but someone else took it one step further and suggested letting players write books in-game. Oh boy, how long do you think it will take before the entire trilogy of Captain Fairty Pants and the Terrifying Poop Faces ends up in the library? A lot of people also suggested letting players take on every possible role aboard the ship. Not just the captain, obviously, but artillery officers, doctors, cooks. I don't know how many of you are buying this game because you always dream of becoming the most feared cook in the Caribbean. But let me just say one name: Long John Silver. So, anything is possible. Communicating at sea through a speaking trumpet. I love it. Just imagine the immersion of hearing two captains after an epic and bloody naval battle exchanging the traditional sailor greetings. Ah, good game, man. Nah, that was mid. No, bro, you owned him. Nah, he was a noob. Ah, yes, that's the age of sail. And of course, sea shanties. And I think a lot of you accepted the challenge at the beginning, probably guessed that this would be the final suggestion. Well, no, this is not the one, and this is not even the one I want to focus on, because of course we all want sea shanties, but one member suggested something even more interesting. Your own sailors becoming living diaries of the captain's adventures, retelling your exploits in taverns and sharing your stories with other people. And that's actually pretty cool, although I can already picture my quartermaster half drunk telling the story of my greatest achievement. I was there when Captain Bob managed to hit the only rock sticking out in the middle of the open sea and sank us all, bloody landlubber. I'm not sure I like this idea anymore. And now, the very last suggestion, the one that simply has to be in any game that wants to call itself a simulation, a fundamental gameplay loop, maybe one of the very few things missing from games like Red Dead Redemption 2 or Kingdom Come Deliverance. Ladies and gentlemen, pooping! Because, of course. Well then, citizens, first mates, and cabin boys, I hope this list gave you a few laughs. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and let me know in the comments what funny ideas you think would fit into Ahoy. And if you want to stay up to date with this game and plenty of others, with content that's never ordinary, almost never useful, but always silly, well, this is definitely the channel you should subscribe to and support. See you on the next side.